Qartman! Duh!
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Mozu guide here in Gigantic. My name is Qartman and I'm going to show you the probably most DPS and probably best DPS build for Mozu out there. Now, keep in mind that not every build is optimal in every situation. You need to adapt from situation to situation. So what I'm trying to say here is situational dependent, and you just gotta basically, like in this game, there are counter heroes to other heroes, and you have to play around this. Like, say if there is, I don't know, a Bastion or Imani that just keeps sniping you, you should go for Reflect on Mozu's Vortex, for example. Like these things. Just always go for the thing you feel like you need in a match, and with that you should drive very safely with what I'm showing you here. And so yeah, but this build in most of the situations is probably the most damage output build possible as Mozu, in my opinion. Now let's get started with this. So what we do have here, first on Mozu, what do you want to go first to trade on Mozu is probably your auto attack, which is basically a auto attack which starts with a slow cast of some magic bolts, and after these two basically bars are fully charged, there's this faster attack speed. And what you want to go for here is the auto attack, as I said. Now we've got two options here: run and hit and Omega Bolt. Now Omega Bolt is hold LMB at the third charge stage. If fully charged, your next LMB within 5 seconds fires a powerful blast which inflicts massive shock. Now, I think this shock deals about 230-ish damage, plus I think 100 damage for 2 seconds, so in total 450 damage. It's not bad. But if you feel like you need it, or it's just your personal preference, basically, you can go for it. But what I'm going with here is run and hit, which is skill LMB, like left mouse button after skill use. After using another skill, Magic Bolt powers up instantly. Now, what does that mean? So basically, it powers up instantly to this state or charge where your attack speed is very high. Now, if I let's say use like this skill here, and after that I'm instantly at this stage where I keep firing bolts at this speed rate, and that's really nice. That's a huge damage output more you can accomplish with just going by this trade. Now I'll go for run and hit. As I said, if you prefer Omega Bolt, just feel free to go for it. But so yeah, we'll go for run and hit here. After that we have Magic Shell and one-dimensional offense. Now, Magic Shell is after using Vortex you get plus 40 front armor and front deflection while firing Magic Bolt. Now, I've never felt the lack of armor on Mozu, just by the simple fact that you have a blink where you can get up to areas where other heroes can't even get there. Or at least you're way faster than most of the heroes, you know, with just blinking up there and disengaging. So I've never felt the lack of armor on Mozu, just because you can disengage with your blink if you use it properly all the time. So what I want to go for here is one-dimensional offense, and this trait is probably key in this whole build. Now, RMB followed up with LMB, or E followed up with LMB after Attractor Beam or Dimension Door, Magic Bolt's fire rate increased by 20%. Now that basically means that this stage where you keep firing bolts after using one of these skills, you're firing 20% faster, which is a whole shit ton of damage you can put out more. So you just want to go for that. After that, you want to go for like if there's an Imani or whatever Bastion and you're just getting hit by some random shots and you keep getting pressured low, then sure, go feel free and go for reverse polarity here on Vortex. That basically reflects projectiles, and it's basically is a 50% longer vortex, which is increased from 4 to 6 seconds, I believe. So yeah, go with that if you feel like you're getting sniped down too easily or whatever. But other than that, I would keep going with Attractor Beam, because this is the key two traits I'm gonna show you. You probably need you need to take them, because you know they're just basically the whole build is based upon them, and you just gotta probably always take them. If you don't like them, well, then you just probably have to run another build, you know. So what I want to go for here, Attractor Beam, is for Channel Selector. Now, I mean, this trait in its own is probably not that like promising. It doesn't give you a shit ton of value out of it, but the followed up traits are really worth it to go for this one. Now, Cantrip of Disruption would be interrupt attackers and start slight delay before casting. I don't. If you like it, sure, why not? But I've never yet. Yeah, well, like I don't see the use in this, or the need in this, rather, to interrupt enemies. I don't know. Maybe the only use I can see, if there is a Markgrave always reflecting your shots, you can go for a Cantrip of Disruption here, because simply when he uses his deflect, or reflect rather, you can go for this interrupt and interrupt him from reflecting and deflecting your shots and the shots from your teammates. I mean, there I can see kind of the value out of it and the sense behind this, but other than that, I really can't. I don't see the need or the you know, the value out of this trait. So I'll probably always go for Channel Selector. And as I said, the next trait you want to go for is probably would go for Drawn to Life here, which is Attractor Beam deals 3 times the damage against targets below 33% health. But in my opinion, Renewed Attraction is better, because if your Attractor Beam target dies, this skill recharges instantly. Now, if you can recall what we've traded before, we have traded that when we use Attractor Beam or Dimensional Door, which is our teleport, our fire rate is instantly basically boosted up to the faster fire rate, like this one. It's instantly at this stage, and it's even 20% faster. Now, if you count 1 and 1 together, you would go for Renewed Attraction here, because if you if there's a team fight, your team's win, you're reining in the damage as much as you can. The target is low. Your teammates go for it. You basically just cast Attractor's Beam on this target. You kill the target with it. You'll get the instant recharge of Attractor's Beam. You will instantly hit the fast fire rate by 20% increased even. You're just raining the damage in as fucking hell. If you kill somebody in a team fight and then just follow up with this damage, you're basically gonna kill everyone, because the damage is just unstoppable on Mozu if you really use this properly. Now I'm gonna show you how you basically do this. So what we have here is you just want to you know, pressure the target really low until it's killable with the Attractor's Beam. So I now go for Attractor's Beam. Now we're on the increased fire rate. We'll get it low, finish this target off with this, then we're at the increased fire rate again, can finish it off with the Attractor's Beam again, and so on. This is basically a never-ending process until you have killed, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 members of the enemy team, or just raining in the damage. You just saw how fast I'm attacking and how much damage this is in like a really slow amount of time, or rather not slow amount of time, rather short amount of time, sorry. But you saw how the damage was raining in and how much damage it was. It's just unbelievable. If you use this properly in a team fight and your team wins the team fight, you're basically an unstoppable beast. You have probably the highest damage output in the game. It's insane. Now, after these two skills traded, I would probably go for Vortex here, finally. Now, in my opinion, I've always gone for Reverse Polarity, because there's always an enemy that keeps annoying you with, be it an HK, be it an Imani, be it another Mozu, whatever. I'd go always for a Reverse Polarity here. And the following up trade is another good reason to go for reverse polarity here, because you can go for true strike, which magic bolts that hear your vortex that redirect toward enemies, which is basically an aimbot, right? So what you can do with this, you can basically let's get up here. So how am I going to show this? So there's this enemy behind this column. I'm just firing into this, and you see the damage. I'm dealing damage to him. Now this is the reason I'm always going for this. Just because who doesn't like aimbot, right? Can you die, please? There we go. So yeah, it's just who doesn't like aimbot, right? So I've always gone for reverse polarity, and after that for aimbot. After these two skills are traded, I probably go for trading dimensional door. If you feel like you want to have a faster focus, you can go for will to power and then go for refocus. But it's pretty much up to you. If you feel like you need the extra survivability with dimension door, if you need seek shelter, why not? But by the way, dimension door here, the teleport, I've never felt the lack of double amount of range if there's a visual, or rather visible enemy, visible teammate on your side that you can basically teleport twice as far as usual. I've never gone for that one. I don't think it's necessary either. And temporal discontinuity is just, in my opinion, really worth it, because you get stamina, and who doesn't know what that is? It's basically the blue thing on the right that is just draining now when I dodge, and you get the 15 stamina, and then you can just run away, right? Another good reason why temporal discontinuity is really important in this build is for the simple fact of, now we have traded that after using a tractor's beam or dimensional door, our fire rate for magic bolt is instantly on the second charge, and it is increased the fire rate by 20%. Now, we can, even without killing the enemy with the tractor's beam, what we can do is we start casting this again until he's kind of low. Then we go for tractor beam, we get the recharge, and then we get the instant damage again. Then we blink, we get a tractor's beam off cooldown, we kill the enemy with this, and then we can go full ham again, and with a tractor's beam recharge again. There's this whole every single trade we've taken so far is just working perfectly well with the other trades. It's just a combination of trades that's really good here. You may say that like these trades on their own aren't really worth to take, but in their whole, in their basic build, if the build is complete, this build is just insane. It's an insane amount of damage you're raining into the enemies, and it's just basically unstoppable, really. Now, after we've gone for temporal discontinuity, dimensional rift damage enemies at both of your source and destination, I've never gone for this one. This is really unnecessary. You never port to an enemy to damage him, because that's basically suicide. If you port into enemies, you have no way to get out, you're just free kill. So never do that. And the damage at your source, I don't know, it's just not worth it in my opinion. We would rather go for teleporting. You deal 25% more basic damage for 5 seconds, which is again basically combinable with this faster attack speed. Now we're attacking fast, we're teleporting, we're instantly attacking fast again, and we have the basically the damage boost, right? Was it I think 20% for 5 seconds damage boost after teleporting. So just go for this. The other one, damaging enemies at both your source and your target destination, is just not worth it in my opinion. So yeah, with that traded, we have only our focus left to trade. Then we have here will to power and battle ready. Now front armor is battle ready is plus 10 front armor, additional plus 5 while attacking, so in total plus 15 front armor. while attacking. I've never, as I said before with the auto attack, I've never felt the lack of armor on Mozu. I just want to go full ham, DPS, whatever. I just go for will to power always. And here it's pretty much up to you actually, for once, yeah. Because refocus is plus 50% focus gain, and after you have used focus until your next death, you'll get plus 25% focus gain out of every basically hit you land and everything. If you want to go for like a lot of focus, you go for refocus. If you want to have a insanely strong focus for once and then not be able to charge it as fast as if you would go for refocus, then go for supreme will. But probably in most of the situations, refocus, in my opinion, is just more worth it. You know, just because you get so much more focus. And Mozu's focus, by the way, is insane damage. So we're just gonna show it on these low bots here. I'm gonna kill this one easily. Oh, almost killed him, but I damaged the one behind. Now we're just raining at the damage again with our combo. Bam, 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 bam. And use Attractor's Beam as often as possible, not only to kill enemies. If they're like full HP, just go for it, you know, you attack, blah blah blah, you get this full speed. After this charge is finished, you go for Attractor Beam, you have instantly full speed again. Just go for it. Don't like never use this skill unless you're really sure to kill an enemy. Just, you know, you have to get some experience with this build, and it's just gonna work out. If you're getting I'm good with using these skills and how to use them in which situation. It's just an insane build. It's just insane damage, whatever. But yeah, just use it basically on cooldown. Except you see an enemy that's like 30% health, you keep attacking him until he's like 10% health, and then you start with Attractor's Beam and then finish off. But if he's full HP, feel free to go for Attractor's Beam anytime you want to just increase your damage. So the only thing that we have left here is skill specialization. This Alter Tether Now is Perfect Storm or Added Dimension. Now Alter Tether Now is Attractor's Beam, which is Rema's button, so basically this. Stays attached at longer range. Your clash rapidly grants focus while attached. Now let's just go through the other two until I'm gonna get down to my conclusion. Perfect Storm is Arcane Vortex is larger during clash, raises crit chance to 100%. I don't know. I've never really used that. I'm not. I don't know. I just feel like I don't need it. I don't see the real value out of it. Being larger, I mean, during clash raises crit chance to 100%, and we have aimbot, right? So theoretically, every shot we're firing into this should be critical. Now, yeah, it's probably good during clash, but yeah. The only thing good about here is really during clash, if you just get the 100% crit chance and the aimbot basically, which you combine with it. Added Dimension, never used this one either, because I've never felt the lack of the range of Dimensional Door. And again, during clash, minus 6 seconds cooldown if you're over 50% health. You never probably use the skill if you're over 50% health until unless you maybe are gonna chase at 100% HP by 5 people and you want to get away as fast as possible. Probably then, yeah, sure, but probably when you disengage, you're most of the time lower than 50% health, and then it's just no value out of this. So I don't know, it's just not worth it in my opinion. So the two you want to consider here's probably Alter Tether Now and Perfect Storm. Now Alter Tether Now, basically the bonus you get out of here is that you have to, like as I said, you want to go for this combo, just keep the auto attack until he's low, you want to finish off. The only value you get out of longer attached Attractor's Beam is that you don't have to get that close to the enemy to finish him off, you know. They can basically stay a little bit more further away from the enemy or whatever. That's probably the only value you get out of this. During Clash, rapidly grants focus while attached. Again, if you want to have a lot of focus, sure, go for it, but it's probably personal preference here what you're going to go for here, whether it be Alter Tether now or Perfect Storm. But my personal preference probably, man, I can't really decide on my own. It's probably Alter Tether now, because it's just, focus is such a good ability you have to kill enemies with Attractor's Beam, recharges Attractor's Beam instantly again. It's just, you know, the whole synergy in this build is based upon Attractor's Beam and the auto attack, which is called Magic Bolt. It's just the whole synergy of this build is based upon these two traits. It's probably my favorite here is Attractor Beam. But feel free to go for Vortex to increase your aimbot damage, basically, with putting Vortex down and just firing into it. Where did it go, actually? Oh, here. You can just fire into it and get the 100% crit chance with the aimbotting. So if you feel like you need it or you want it, sure, go for it. It's your personal preference. But so yeah, guys, that will be the build, the guide for Mozu. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's probably the highest damage output in the game if you use it properly. You need to get some experience with it. I'm sure it's not probably the easiest build, but it's really effective if you use it right, and it's just an output. I think you saw it during the video when I just killed these little bots here, what damage there is, and it's just insane if you use this build correctly. So yeah, that was the build guide. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to follow my Twitch, which is over at twitch.tv/Qartman. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe on YouTube. Make sure to follow me on Twitter, which is at ViperGuildWars2. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. See you in the next video.